Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Tabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And also, if you're not following the Dreamerspro podcast, make sure you do that. We have that pin in the comment section below. Let me get into this topic here, because this is something I'm gonna enjoy deeply. And as you guys know, 2 years ago, Russell Westbrook signed with the Los Angeles Lakers in the offseason. And when that acquisition went down, a lot of people in media and beyond were up there twerking it up all over the place. A lot of people at the time were saying, oh, this is going to be the best team in the league. They're going to go make it to the Western. And I believe they had the second best chances to win the NBA championship, according to odds makers and other people. Yeah, Kendrick Perkins and all of these guys up there twerking it up, talking about how happy they were to have Russell Westbrook on that team and how they thought they were going to do great things. And some of us were sitting back, including Shannon Sharp, to be fair, but like, Russell Westbrook, you have Russell Westbrook, you have LeBron, and you have Anthony Davis. How is this going to work? It doesn't seem like a really good fit. But nevertheless, you had people up there that just couldn't stop themselves from twerking. And they got so hyped. And I'm like, alrighty then now. And what happens? They started the season and I think they had about a 10-10 record. And some people were still holding out like, no, it's not going to work. And then maybe about halfway through the season, some people are like, well, maybe they might figure it out. And then once they realized that it was going to be an absolute disaster, they now needed to look for the scapegoat. And who was the scapegoat? None other than Russell Westbrook. The moment the Lakers started struggling, they needed to be somebody to point all their anger towards, and that person was Westbrook. Now, to be fair to Laker fans, did Russell Westbrook play bad as a Los Angeles Laker? You better believe it. He did not play good at all, and his combative nature with the press did not help. Not combative, his defensive posture with the press did not help him. So that it's important that we say that. What I didn't like, and some people as well felt the same, was that they were trying to make him the face of the issues of the Lakers, and that was totally unfair. It was him and Frank Vogel, a coach who about, I think, a year or two prior had helped the team win an NBA championship. So a lot of people up there scratching their head, including Charles Barkley, like, wait a minute, you guys are trying to make this guy the face, and you're demonizing him. And throughout all the criticism that Russell Westbrook got in the media, no one criticized him more than Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless made it his daily goal, like a daily affirmation, to ensure that he trashed Russell Westbrook every single day on Undisputed. Every single day. And it was at that point I realized Shannon Sharp has absolutely zero influence on the topics that are picked for this show. Do you know why? Because at first Shannon Sharp was going along with him. And then after a while, it looked like Shannon Sharp started to get a little bit uncomfortable. Like, Skip, he tried to laugh it up like, yo, bro, can we stop? But Skip could not help himself. No one did more to tarnish Russell Westbrook's legacy, apart from his play, obviously, than one Skip Bayless. It was shameful at certain points. And nevertheless, he kept on at it. So what happened? The following season, they realized it wasn't going to work. He was playing a little bit better. I think he agreed to come off the bench. And then ultimately he was traded. No. He was traded to, I think at the time it was the Utah Jazz, and he was bought out. And was it Jazz? Yeah, I think it was the Jazz, and he was bought out. And then he was picked up by the Clippers. And then what happened? Even after he left the Lakers, Skip now went on another crusade to say why he was going to be an absolute disaster for the Clippers. And in the midst of all of his senseless criticisms, he then said something that to this day, I am absolutely astounded that this man said it on television. He said at this point in time, Patrick Beverly is a better basketball player than Russell Westbrook. And I said, this man done lost his damn mind. And it seems like finally Patrick Beverly is responding to Skip Bayless, or calling him out for all of the slanderous things that he said about Russell Westbrook and how it impacted his bottom line. But before we even get into his comments, this video is brought to you by a brand new sponsor, Factor Meals. If you're like me or anybody that works at Dreamerspro, chances are you're a very, very busy person, especially during the lunchtime when you don't have time to go to the grocery store, pick out fresh ingredients, and come back home and cook healthy, delicious meals. Sometimes we're so busy that you just end up finding yourself making a ham sandwich or something like that, which isn't really ideal. And this is the reason why we are excited to be partnering with Factor Meals. Factor Meals is America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. You can choose from up to 35 gourmet meals. Every meal is packed with premium ingredients, crafted by Factor Meals' team of culinary experts and designed by dietitians to ensure that every meal is packed with premium science-backed nutritional quality. Your meals are delivered directly to your door, and all you need to do is heat them up in just under 2 minutes. Then they are ready for you to eat and enjoy. So for example, this week, I think I'm gonna go with the Italian herb chicken. What I love is that under every single meal, you can see if it's a calorie conscious option. For example, this meal I just chose is the dietitian approved calorie smart meal, which is around 550 calories or less per serving, and also a protein plus meal with 30 grams of protein or more per serving. So if you want to give it a try, click the link in the description below or head over to factormeals.com/dreamers50 and use code dreamers50 to get 50% off. And remember, when you try Factor Meals by using the link in the description below, remember that you're supporting this channel. Thank you.
Skip Bayless on national television. I will give Patrick Beverly, he tweeted this, because that's not how you spell my name. But Skip Bayless on national television, I would give Patrick Beverly a ring and not Russell Westbrook. I just don't like him. How are these media shows allowed to blatantly slander a player with extreme bias? Me, you know, on my pod, we had a real big debate about this, how the media kind of controls the narrative of players, and the control of narrative from players can actually, you know, help or hurt a player when it comes from, I don't know, making 200 million to 150 million, you know, if you're in that range, or from being in the NBA or not being in the NBA. I agree with this. The blatant slander, you know, with extreme bias can cause somebody to, you know, lose on a ton of money. So use your words. Don't use your words at people, and make sure your words are factual when you do use, especially if you're part of the media. So that'd be my answer to that.
So you heard what Patrick Beverly had to say. Now I want to give you guys some information here that I think a lot of you guys are going to find interesting. Before Russell Westbrook was with the, before he got signed with the Clippers, Russell Westbrook had $47 million left on his max deal. That was the last amount of money that he got paid on the last year of his deal. Now, I want you guys to think of the type of player you got to be that on your last year, you're earning roughly $50 million. He was a max player. The year before he joined the Lakers, I believe he averaged a triple-double with the Washington Wizards and helped get them into the play-in tournament, something the Lakers could not do the season when he had him. Now, I want to give you guys his contract that he signed with the Clippers recently. This summer, Russell Westbrook signed a 2-year deal with the Clippers worth $7.8 million, including $7.863 million guaranteed and an annual average salary of $3.9 million. A man that went from making over $40 million a year is now playing basketball for less than $4 million per annum. And if you factor those taxes into LA and living in California, he probably making what, 1.8 million, maybe 2 if he's lucky. And some people then have to ask a question: what happened? What happened? Some will say, well, he deteriorated. Really? He had a $40 million drop off in his production? Is that what you're telling me? Are you talking about the same Russell Westbrook that was playing with the Clippers, that him and Kawhi Leonard were able to take game 1 against the team that a lot of people thought were going to beat them in the Phoenix Suns, that he was able to make it a competitive series, although they lost the next 4 games, but made it competitive and was able to show himself in those next 4 years? We talking about that Russell Westbrook? He deserves $4 million per annum? And for Skip to say, and it's no disrespect to Patrick Beverly, we're just keeping it 100. You're essentially saying that if you replace Russell Westbrook on that Clippers team and you put Patrick Beverly would have been able to put up that type of production in the place of Russell Westbrook? Is this what we're saying? Is that what we're saying? To me, listen, Skip made it personal with Russell Westbrook. He made it personal. There's no 2 other ways to look at it. He made it personal. And some people are saying it was something that had to do with his time in OKC because Skip Bayless was from Oklahoma, and then Russell Westbrook said that, and he felt like maybe Russell Westbrook got people to threaten him or whatever the hell it was, right? And Skip made it personal, whatever the case may be. But if we're being honest, Skip was not being a professional there. because he let his personal feelings get in the way of his work. Now, Skip Bayless is a human being. We all do it from time to time. None of us are perfect. Sometimes we do cross the line. Here and there, I understand that. But you don't cross the line for like 1.5 years, 5 days a week. Consistently. He was putting up lowlights of the guy every single week. You're talking about a guy that is going into the Hall of Fame. It got so bad that Skip Bayless actually produced the show questioning whether or not Russell Westbrook deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. It got that bad. And to have a former competitor that had some fierce face-offs, standoffs, or whatever you want to call it, with Russell Westbrook, for him to be coming to the defense of Westbrook speaks volumes. All of the slanderous reports that were put out by various sources like Dave McMenamin when they called the guy a vampire and the Lakers a vampire. Since he's been a Clipper, everybody loves him. What did he lose his powers? Did he lose his fangs? This same guy that everybody says is a great teammate, how all of a sudden he turned into a vampire when he got to the Lakers? Help me figure it out. And it wasn't like as if he was traded to another country. He got traded to a team that's right across the hallway. Did he lose his powers while he was packing his things out of his locker? Help me figure it out. They went on a smear campaign against this guy, and it was shameful. It was shameful. They tried to make him the face of those problems. Was it a bad fit? You 100% believe it. Now, if you think that by the Lakers trading away Russell Westbrook and they didn't make any other changes, if you thought they would have been as competitive as they were last season after the halfway point of the season, you're smoking something hot. Fact of the matter is, Rob Pelinka and those guys made a lot of moves at that trade deadline. That paid off. That definitely paid off. But to boil it down to just Westbrook, I thought was absolutely ass backwards. And I'm happy that Patrick Beverly is saying something. So these are my thoughts. So what I want to know from you guys is this. Do you think Russell Westbrook was, number one, unfairly criticized for all of the issues that the Lakers are facing? Number two, what do you think about what Patrick Beverly had to say in terms of the coverage that certain stars receive and how it can affect their bottom line? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.